All right, let's get ready to dive deep because today we're going to tackle something that I think most of us think about pretty often.
Okay.
And that's belly fat.
Right?
But here's the twist. We're exploring how walking, yes, simple walking can help us shrink that stubborn area. And,
Yeah.
on the deep dive, we're going way beyond just the basic calories burned stuff, right?
Absolutely. We're going to be uncovering the science behind
Yes.
walking's impact on belly fat,
Yeah.
especially that's not just about looks, but has serious health implications.
Okay, so before we get into how walking helps,
Yeah.
can you explain why belly fat, particularly that deep visceral fat, is such a health concern?
Sure.
I mean, besides not fitting into our favorite jeans.
It's really about what's going on beneath the surface.
Okay.
Visceral fat is like this hidden danger, nestled deep in your abdomen, surrounding your organs.
Right.
It's a key player in a whole range of health issues, heart disease,
Yeah.
type 2 diabetes, even certain cancers. This type of fat disrupts your body's systems, impacting things like blood sugar control,
Right.
cholesterol levels, even triggering body-wide inflammation.
I knew it wasn't great,
Yeah.
but that's pretty serious stuff.
Yeah.
So how does walking even begin to address all that?
Walking, especially brisk walking, is like a multi-pronged attack on belly fat.
Okay.
You're right, calorie burning is involved,
Right.
but it's more nuanced than that.
Okay.
Walking actually improves how your body uses insulin, the hormone responsible for getting sugar into your cells for energy.
Okay. I vaguely remember that from biology class.
Yeah.
What's the connection to walking and belly fat?
Think of it like this: insulin acts as a key unlocking your cells to let glucose in. Good insulin sensitivity means the key works smoothly.
Okay.
But when you're resistant to insulin, the key gets stuck. Sugar builds up in your bloodstream and your body stores it as fat, often around your belly.
Right.
Walking actually helps that key work better.
So walking helps my body use glucose more efficiently, which means less of it gets stored as fat,
Yeah.
particularly in the belly area. Got it.
Yeah.
But how exactly does walking do that?
Right.
Does it actually change something on a cellular level?
That's what's fascinating.
Yeah.
Studies have shown that walking, even moderate intensity walking, can actually increase the number of insulin receptors on your cells.
Okay.
More receptors mean your cells are more sensitive to insulin, and glucose can enter the cells more easily.
So it's like walking is literally making our cells more receptive to insulin.
Right.
Pretty amazing. Is it the walking itself, or is it tied to like overall fitness improvements?
Well, while overall fitness plays a role, studies have isolated the effects of walking specifically
Okay.
and found that it does have a unique impact on insulin sensitivity. It seems that the rhythmic muscle contractions during walking, combined with the increased blood flow,
Right.
create a favorable environment for improving insulin signaling pathways within the cells.
So it's not just about getting your heart rate up.
Right.
There's something specific about walking that benefits those cellular processes.
Yeah.
I never realized walking could have such a profound effect at such a microscopic level.
It is remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's even more. Walking, particularly if you pick up the pace, actually helps build muscle.
Okay.
And we know muscle is a calorie-burning powerhouse, even when you're at rest.
Wait, I thought you needed weights or intense workouts to build muscle. Can you really build muscle just by walking?
Absolutely. You're using those leg muscles constantly when you walk.
Right.
And they adapt by getting stronger and, yes, bigger.
Yeah.
Plus, walking can engage your core muscles,
Okay.
especially if you pay attention to your posture and engage your abdominal muscles as you walk.
So even without hitting the gym, regular walking can help build muscle,
Huh.
which in turn helps burn more calories even when we're not walking.
That's right.
That's a pretty awesome bonus.
Yeah.
Starting to sound like walking is a secret weapon against belly fat.
It really is. And here's another weapon in walking's arsenal.
Oh.
Its ability to combat stress. You know how when you're stressed, you crave comfort foods?
Oh, tell me about it. Chocolate is my weakness.
Well, it's not just the cravings.
Right.
Stress releases a hormone called cortisol, and cortisol loves to hang out in belly fat cells,
Okay.
encouraging them to store even more fat.
Oh, wow.
Walking has been shown to significantly reduce cortisol levels.
So walking not only helps burn fat and improve how my body uses sugar,
Right.
but it also lowers the stress hormone that's contributing to fat storage in the first place.
Exactly.
Walking really does tackle this from all angles.
It does, and that's just scratching the surface.
Wow.
We haven't even touched on the mental clarity and mood-boosting effects of walking,
Right.
which, as we'll see, are essential parts of the equation, too.
This is all so fascinating. Okay, so we've established that walking is a belly fat busting superhero.
Yes.
But how do we make it work for us?
Right.
How do we turn those daily steps into a flatter tummy?
That's where we get into the practical side of things.
Okay.
We'll explore specific strategies for maximizing the belly fat burning benefits of walking, from timing to intensity to creating a sustainable routine.
Sounds like a plan.
Ooh.
Let's lace up those metaphorical walking shoes and get into the nitty-gritty of making those walks count.
Let's do it.
All right, so we've covered all this amazing science behind how walking combats belly fat.
Yeah.
Now let's get practical. How do we make walking a regular part of our routine?
Right.
And how can we make sure those walks are really working for us?
Consistency is key.
Okay.
Aim for at least 30 minutes of brisk walking most days of the week.
I've heard that brisk walking thing before.
Right.
But what does that really mean? What pace are we talking about here?
You should feel your heart rate elevated.
Okay.
Like, you could talk, but maybe not sing a whole song without taking a breath.
Right.
And remember, it doesn't have to be all at once.
Okay.
3 10-minute walks can be just as effective as one 30-minute session.
That's good to know, especially for those days when squeezing in a full 30 minutes feels impossible.
Yeah.
Are there ways to boost the intensity of our walks to make them even more effective at targeting belly fat?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Incorporating hills into your route is a great way to challenge your muscles and increase calorie burn.
Okay, hills are a great idea, especially since my neighborhood is pretty flat. What about those walking poles I see people using? Do those actually help?
Those are Nordic walking poles, and they can be surprisingly effective. They engage your upper body, turning your walk into a full body workout, burning more calories,
Okay.
and improving your posture.
I might need to give those a try.
Yeah.
Okay, so consistency, intensity, mixing things up. Got it. But let's be honest, sometimes motivation wanes.
Right.
Any tips for staying on track, especially on those days when you just don't feel like lacing up your shoes?
Finding a walking buddy can make a world of difference.
Okay.
Having someone to walk with, to chat with,
Right.
to hold you accountable can be incredibly motivating.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes just knowing someone's waiting for you can be enough to get you out the door.
Right.
What if finding a walking buddy is impossible? Any other strategies for staying motivated?
Absolutely. You can join a walking group, either in person or virtually.
Oh.
There are online communities dedicated to walking where you can find support, share tips, and even participate in virtual walking challenges.
I hadn't thought of virtual walking groups. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's like having a walking buddy no matter where you are.
Right.
Okay, so buddy up, join a group,
Right.
or maybe even tap into that competitive spirit with a virtual challenge. Any other tips for making walking a habit that sticks?
Don't underestimate the power of a good playlist or podcast.
Okay.
Listening to something you enjoy can make the time fly by and make your walk feel more like a treat than a chore.
Music is definitely a must-have for me when I walk. It can totally change my mood and energize me.
Yeah.
I also find that listening to podcasts while I walk kind of turns my exercise time into learning time, so it feels like I'm accomplishing two things at once.
Exactly. And don't forget the simple act of tracking your progress.
Okay.
Whether you use a fitness tracker or just a simple notebook,
Right.
seeing how many steps you've taken, how far you've walked can be incredibly motivating.
I love tracking my steps.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying to see those numbers add up.
Right.
But sometimes I get caught up in like hitting a certain number of steps, and it starts to feel like pressure instead of enjoyment.
Yeah.
Any advice on finding that balance between tracking progress and not letting it become an obsession?
It's a great point. It's important to use tracking as a tool for motivation and insight,
Okay.
not as a source of stress. Focus on celebrating your achievements no matter how small they may seem.
Right.
And remember, the most important thing is to listen to your body and adjust your walking routine accordingly.
Listening to my body, that's key. Sometimes I get so focused on reaching a goal that I ignore those little aches and pains.
Right.
How do we know when to push through and when to back off?
It's a delicate balance, but here's a good rule of thumb.
Okay.
If you're experiencing sharp pains, stop and rest.
Okay.
If it's general soreness or fatigue, you can probably keep going,
Right.
but maybe reduce your intensity or duration.
Okay.
And always warm up before your walk and cool down afterward.
Warming up and cooling down, that's easy to forget sometimes. Okay, so consistency, intensity, finding ways to stay motivated,
Right.
tracking progress, listening to my body, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, walking the same route day after day can get a little boring. Any advice on how to keep things interesting?
Variety is key.
Okay.
Explore new routes in your neighborhood or local parks.
Right.
Change up the time of day you walk. Try walking in the morning instead of the evening.
Okay.
Invite different walking buddies or join different walking groups.
Hmm.
Even something as simple as changing the direction you walk on your usual route can make it feel new again.
That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how just changing the direction can make a familiar route feel brand new. I also love exploring new parks and trails.
Yeah.
It's like turning my walk into a mini adventure. What about those days when the weather just isn't cooperating? Are there alternatives to walking outdoors?
Of course.
Mm.
If you have access to a gym, you can use the treadmill.
Right.
Or you can try other indoor activities like dancing, swimming, or
Yeah.
even just walking around your house while you do chores.
Those are all great ideas.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that movement doesn't have to be confined to like a specific activity or location.
Right.
The key is to just keep moving. And I love that you mentioned dancing and swimming. It's a good reminder that exercise doesn't have to feel like a chore.
Yeah,
It can be fun and enjoyable.
absolutely. Finding activities you genuinely enjoy is crucial for making movement a sustainable part of your life.
All right.
And that brings us to a really important point, the mental and emotional benefits of walking.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about those mental and emotional benefits. I know for me, walking can be a great stress reliever, a way to clear my head and boost my mood.
Yeah.
But is there any science to back that up?
There's actually a growing body of research showing that walking has profound effects on our mental and emotional well-being.
Okay.
Studies have shown that walking can reduce anxiety and depression,
Wow.
improve sleep quality, boost creativity,
Really?
and even sharpen cognitive function.
That's amazing. I always feel more relaxed and focused after a good walk, but I didn't realize it had such a significant impact on my brain.
Yeah.
What's the connection between walking and these mental and emotional benefits?
There are several factors at play.
Okay.
Walking increases blood flow to the brain, which improves oxygen and nutrient delivery.
Hmm.
It also stimulates the release of endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that elevate mood and reduce pain.
Right.
And let's not forget the simple act of being in nature, which has been shown to have calming and restorative effects.
It makes sense that being outdoors and connecting with nature would have such a positive impact on our mental state.
Right.
I know I always feel more grounded and at peace
Yeah.
after spending time in nature. Are there specific ways we can enhance those mental and emotional benefits while we walk?
Absolutely. One powerful technique is to practice mindfulness while you walk.
Okay.
Pay attention to the sensations of your body moving, the rhythm of your breath, the sights and sounds around you.
Okay.
This can help you become more present and aware, reducing stress and promoting a sense of calm.
Mindfulness.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I tend to get lost in my thoughts when I walk, so
Right.
focusing on my senses and being present in the moment
Mm.
is a great way to shift my focus and truly experience the walk. What about incorporating affirmations or positive self-talk while we walk?
Uh-huh.
Could that amplify those feel-good effects?
Absolutely.
Huh?
Affirmations are powerful tools for shifting your mindset and boosting self-esteem.
Right.
Repeating positive phrases while you walk can help reprogram your subconscious mind,
Hmm.
creating a more positive and empowering self-image.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like turning my walk into a moving meditation, a chance to not only improve my physical health, but also cultivate a more positive and resilient mindset. It's incredible how something as simple as walking can have such a profound impact on our overall well-being inside and out.
It's a true testament to the power of movement and the interconnectedness of our mind, body, and spirit.
Right.
And as we move into the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we'll explore how those mental and emotional benefits of walking can actually enhance our efforts to reduce belly fat and create a truly healthy and sustainable lifestyle.
I'm really looking forward to that discussion.
Yeah,
It's amazing how everything we've talked about ties together.
it is.
Okay, listeners, get ready to go even deeper as we explore the powerful synergy between the physical, mental, and emotional benefits of walking in the final part of our deep dive. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been walking our way through the science and strategies of how walking can help us reduce belly fat.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground from the cellular level to the emotional benefits of just putting one foot in front of the other.
Right, and now for this last part of our deep dive, I'm curious how those feel-good aspects of walking, you mentioned, the stress reduction, the mood boost, how those actually tie back to our goals of reducing belly fat and improving our health.
That's a great question, and it gets to the heart of why a holistic approach is so important. Remember how we talked about stress and that hormone cortisol?
Oh, cortisol can actually contribute to belly fat storage.
Exactly. When we're chronically stressed, our bodies are in this fight or flight mode pumping out cortisol.
Right.
And cortisol, unfortunately, has a preference for storing fat, especially in the abdominal area.
So it's not just the unhealthy food choices we might make when we're stressed,
Right.
but our body chemistry is actually primed for more belly fat when we're under constant stress.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's where walking comes in, not just as a calorie burner, but as a stress management tool. Walking, especially in nature, has been shown to lower cortisol levels, breaking that cycle of stress and belly fat.
So by reducing our stress levels through walking,
Yeah.
we're creating a more favorable hormonal environment for fat loss. It's like walking is undoing some of the damage that stress does to our bodies.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just cortisol.
Yeah.
Walking also boosts those feel-good endorphins, which can help improve our mood and motivation.
Right. And feeling good about ourselves, feeling more energized,
Yeah.
surely that makes it easier to stick with healthy habits in general.
Absolutely.
Not just walking, but also making healthier food choices, getting enough sleep,
Right.
all those things that contribute to overall health and well-being.
Absolutely. It's like a positive feedback loop.
Right?
Walking makes us feel good,
Right.
which motivates us to make healthier choices,
Right.
which further improves our well-being, making us want to walk more.
It sounds like walking isn't just a physical activity, it's a catalyst for a healthier lifestyle overall.
I think that's a great way to summarize it. Walking, when we approach it mindfully and intentionally, can be a gateway to a more holistic and sustainable approach to health and well-being.
So as we wrap up our deep dive,
Mhm.
what are the key takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
First, remember that walking, even something as simple as a 30-minute walk a few times a week, can have a profound impact on your health, both physically and mentally.
And it's not just about the steps themselves. It's about incorporating walking into a lifestyle that prioritizes movement, stress management, and overall well-being.
Exactly. And perhaps most importantly, pay attention to how walking makes you feel. Embrace those moments of clarity, those feelings of energy and joy.
Right.
Those are signs that you're on the right track, not just towards a flatter tummy, but towards a happier, healthier you.
I love that. It's not just about the destination. It's about enjoying the journey.
Yes.
The experience of moving, of being present in our bodies, of connecting with nature. Well, this deep dive has certainly inspired me to lace up my walking shoes and hit the trails. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners as they embark on their own walking journeys?
Just one, keep exploring.
Okay.
Explore new routes, explore different types of walking, explore how walking makes you feel. The more you explore, the more you'll discover the incredible power of this simple yet profound activity.
So to all our listeners, get out there, explore, and discover the joy of walking. And remember, every step you take is a step towards a better you. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.